Hi, I'm 7 Foot Geek, and this is The View from the Clouds. Today we're going to talk about something uncomfortable. I mentioned in my first video that I suffer from severe depression, and one of the things that occurs with people who have depression is the simple fact that there are going to be days that are bad. Now, I'm taking medication, I have a wonderful psychologist, I have a great support network of friends and family. I am trying really hard to get enough sleep and eat properly. So those are all the things that are necessary to provide a proper framework to deal with depression on a day-to-day basis. But the reality is sometimes you slip. It just happens. You don't plan for it, you don't expect it, you don't think that, well, I guess I'm kind of due because it's been a while. What happens is that the person with depression then falls into their pit, whatever that may be. And it doesn't always look like there's something wrong with them. It may seem like there's a lot of anger, like there's distance and withdrawal, like they're not engaging in the things that are going on. At least those are my experiences, because those could all be described, or how I could be described. Now, what's important for the people who are suffering from depression and their friends and family that are perceiving it is not to simply categorize it as what's wrong with you, why don't you just pull yourself out of it. It's not that simple. It's unfortunately very challenging most of the time to identify even what's wrong and often what the trigger is. Some people find that what's called cognitive behavioral therapy is very beneficial. There's a wealth of research about it that written by people way smarter than me. It's been a tool in my own ongoing treatment. Many people derive benefit from having a list of soothing behaviors, things that give them comfort, that give them a sense of peace and or agency in how they deal with things. Now, my bad day started because I didn't get enough sleep last night. So that's on me. And then from that, I made some poor choices. I didn't do good things. I responded harshly and inappropriately. I did not address a conflict at home properly, and it led to some pretty serious conflict with my wife. Now, this is my office at home, so clearly we're dealing with that, so that's good. But the reality is that it was a really, really uncomfortable several hours, and a lot of that I have to look at myself, because for sufferers of depression, looking externally to solve the problem, as it were, it creates crutches and dependencies that don't help to develop good habits and self-reliance. And that's not to say that you can't have a support network, that having loved ones and people you can turn to in times of need is bad. Quite the opposite. But at the end of the day, one we have to look inside ourselves and identify this is something that we are going to deal with and want to, as opposed to somebody else dragging you kicking and screaming out of that pit in your head and saying, that's it, now you're not gonna do that anymore. That's not gonna work. So for myself, there's an uncomfortable level of honesty that's required. I don't like it. I really don't. I'm not gonna lie. But it's necessary to say, to have the presence of mind to identify I'm not in a good place. And that doesn't mean that then I pointed it out, I'm good, I can just pull myself back and everything will be fine. What then comes from that is a series of learned behaviors, and this is going to be different from person to person. Then that help you to come back, because we really aren't ourselves. It's not really the kinds of people that we are. I have a number of friends who also suffer from depression, and they all have different triggers. They have different ways of dealing with it, different ways of recovering themselves. But the universal thing for all of them is finding that handhold, those things that they can teach themselves to get back. This is a topic that I could probably talk at great length, but the fact of the matter is that everything is so individual in this case that it, my experience can only be useful as an object lesson that help is possible. And really, that's what I like to get out of this. That other people that watch it, that if they are themselves suffering from depression, from anxiety, from any any of the list of mental illnesses, then to stand up and acknowledge that it's a thing and get help. It's not a weakness to say, I need help to get through this. It's really not. There are tons of resources online. At the very least, talk to your family doctor. Because it stops you from doing the things that you love. And I love, well, all my nerdy stuff and my martial arts and my friends and all of that business. And it keeps me from them, and I don't like that. And already I've gone over time of what I had set aside for myself. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, share, comment, share with your friends, and stay healthy. I've been 7 Foot Geek, and this was The View from the Clouds.